the Catholic schooling and the Catholic background didn't seem to work.
Definitely did not work.
Well,
Definitely did not work.
Talk about how, I guess, you rebelled against the religious philosophy that was that your mom's idea? Let me send my kids to Catholic school and that'll cure everything.
I don't think that my mom sent us to Catholic school to like cure us. I think that's genuinely what she believed in, and she thought it would be a good idea. And I think in most families, it is a good idea to send your kids to private school or to a Catholic school if that's the life you want to give to your kids. But you can't just leave it all to the school. You know, the school is not gonna fully shape your kids if you're beating the shit out of them at home and then abandoning them. You know, like that's not gonna be a substitute for real guidance, which is obviously what both of our parents did not give us. They did the best they could too. I'm not trying to shit on my parents. I forgive my parents. I have a great relationship with my parents now. They did the best they could. They came from super dysfunctional families. Both my mom and my dad, both of their dads left them when they were kids as well. Like completely abandoned them. Got up and left my grandma's poor with three kids as well. They both had three kids. They were and they faced a lot of abuse as well. I have a lot of dysfunction in my family, all kinds of abuse. So I feel like my mom had a really good intention sending us to a Catholic school, but I just feel like it was obviously not enough. I went to Catholic school for middle school as well, but then when I was going into high school, I went to a public school. And I actually wanted to go live at my dad's house to go to high school, but it just didn't work out. They didn't think it was a good idea. So I ended up going to a public school in Highland Park, and it was fucking rough. You know, I was a bully until the 8th grade. When I got into the public school, I started getting bullied. Bad, I'm talking about bad. I was harassed as a 9th grader. And I started getting into fights. That's actually when I started learning how to scrap, because people were picking on me to the point that I started turning violent, and I started getting my ass whooped enough times that I figured it out what to do, you know, and so yeah, I feel like I had a really rough childhood. When I reflect and I look back, I'm like, I had a really sad childhood. But it's okay. It's my story, and I know a lot of people can relate to it, and that's why I talk about it, because there's no going back in time. There's no need to be embarrassed. I didn't ask for that to happen to me, and I know that it's gonna empower other young people who are going through something similar, who can see me now where I am, and they can know, like, holy shit, like, that's where she came from. Like, maybe I could do something similar, you know? So I went to Benjamin Franklin High School in Highland Park. But then I dropped out, and then I went to South Pasadena High School for like half a semester because we stole my grandma's address, and then I dropped out again. And then I went to a continuation school in Highland Park for like a day, and I was like, fuck this. I want to just try to go back to Franklin if they'll take me back, because now I've dropped out of 2 high schools and I didn't know if they would take me back, but they did. So then I ended up going back to Benjamin Franklin, and then I was always getting in trouble there, and I was on contract for fighting because I got caught fighting, and I was like already in trouble with a lot of other stuff. I mean, I could talk about it now because I'm not gonna get in trouble, but basically I was like doing graffiti all over my school, and they knew it was me, but they could never pin it on me because they just couldn't. And I was just always really smart, and I always had a mouthpiece, so I always knew how to get myself out of situations. And so basically they already had their eye on me, so they had me on contract for fighting. And then I got in another fight, and it was like a big ordeal because it was like a big scene, and there was like blood everywhere, and I wouldn't like rat on the girl because she got away, but they actually caught me because they found me with like blood all over me. The security found me in the bathroom. She's like, did you just get in a fight right now? I was like, no. And then she's like, yeah, you did. You have blood all over you. And I remember I was like, what? And because I wasn't like bleeding. And I looked down, and I had blood all over my hands and my wife beater and my baggy dickies. And then I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, but I'm not bleeding. And so it was like the other girl's blood was all over me. And then she's like, I need to take you into the dean's office. Sorry. Like, and then I remember when she walked in the dean's office, it was like blood all over the hallway. And then, of course, they wanted me to like rat on who it was. But of course, I wasn't going to rat on who it was. It was between me and her, you know. And so after that, they kicked me out and actually got kicked out of the LAUSD, because it was like for violence, whatever, and it was not the first time. So I couldn't go back to Franklin, and that was in my senior year of high school. And I ended up going to the East LA Occupational Center. And then a couple days after I got there, I actually got jumped like at 7 a.m. The girls that I got kicked out of school for beating their ass, they were there waiting for me at my new school, and they fucking jumped me. And then I remember I didn't fight back because I didn't want to get kicked out again. I was like, I'm not about to get kicked out of this school too, because I did want to graduate. Even though I always got in trouble, I did have good grades, and I've always been really intellectual. And so I didn't fight back, so I got my ass whooped that day. And then I didn't get kicked out, but they told me that day, they're like, look, you can't start a fight, but if someone's hitting you, you could hit them back. I was like, okay, good to know for next time. I ended up dropping out of that school too. And I don't know, I was just really cool with the teacher I was taking the class with, because I only had one class to take when I went there. And she ended up just passing me. She ended up giving me the credits that I needed to graduate. I think she saw that I was really smart and that I just deserved my diploma. She saw that she's probably just, I mean, she sees a million kids all the time, so I'm sure she knew what she was doing, passing me. So I ended up getting my diploma from there. I got my GED and my high school diploma from East LA Occupational Center, and I walked on the stage. And yeah, I remember my brothers were not there because one of them was in jail and one of them was just on the streets on heroin. So they didn't go to my graduation, and I was really disappointed, and I was just going through like a lot of other life stuff during that moment. So it was not the best graduation, but I did it.
Was your mom there?
My mom was there. My mom was there and my dad was there.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Feel free to comment below so you can give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related episodes to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.